Arnold Schwarzenegger, a figure synonymous with larger-than-life presence, fiery charisma, and a long history of success across various arenas, took the spotlight in a moment of stunning confrontation when he publicly criticized Donald Trump, the newly elected President of the United States. What unfolded live on television was not merely a clash of personalities, but a masterclass in calculated rhetoric and impassioned argumentation. Schwarzenegger's words reverberated through the airwaves, sending shockwaves across political and cultural spheres alike. This wasn't just a passing critique, it was a deliberate and unflinching takedown, exposing the tensions that had been simmering beneath the surface of the political landscape. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The stage for this explosive encounter was carefully set. Both Schwarzenegger and Trump had shared an uneasy dynamic over the years. While Trump rose to prominence as a businessman turned political leader, Schwarzenegger had carved a legacy as a Hollywood icon, fitness advocate, and former governor of California. Each represented a particular brand of charisma and appeal, yet their approaches to leadership and public discourse could not have been more different. When Schwarzenegger decided to address Trump's election, it was clear that the moment would be laced with drama, intensity, and the unique flair that only he could deliver. From the outset, Schwarzenegger commanded the room. His voice, authoritative and resolute, carried an unmistakable undertone of frustration and determination. He began by addressing the weight of the moment, acknowledging the deep divides that had marked the election and the uncertainty many Americans felt about the future. Without hesitation, he transitioned into a pointed critique of Trump's rhetoric and policies. There was no pretense of politeness or subtlety. Schwarzenegger's words were sharp, direct, and unapologetic, as he systematically dismantled the narrative that Trump had built around himself. What made Schwarzenegger's critique so compelling was his ability to intertwine personal conviction with broader societal concerns. He spoke not just as a former politician, but as someone who had experienced the immigrant dream firsthand. His own journey from a small Austrian village to the heights of Hollywood and American politics gave his words a sense of authenticity and moral authority. He used this perspective to challenge Trump's vision for the nation, painting a stark contrast between his inclusive, aspirational ideals and the divisive tone that had characterized Trump's campaign. As the minutes ticked by, Schwarzenegger's momentum only grew. He drew on his experience as California's governor, a position that had tested his leadership skills in moments of crisis and contention. By referencing specific policies and decisions he had made during his tenure, he underscored the importance of unity, responsibility, and accountability in governance. His critique of Trump was not limited to abstract principles. It was grounded in practical examples and hard-earned lessons. Each point he made felt deliberate and calculated, a piece of a larger puzzle designed to dismantle Trump's credibility as a leader. Schwarzenegger's performance was as much about style as it was about substance. His physical presence, honed by decades in the spotlight, added an undeniable gravitas to the moment. Every gesture, every pause, and every shift in tone seemed meticulously crafted to emphasize his points. The passion in his delivery was palpable, but it never tipped into unrestrained anger. Instead, he maintained a measured intensity, striking a balance between emotional appeal and intellectual rigor. This combination made it difficult to dismiss his words as mere theatrics. They carried weight, conviction, and a sense of purpose that resonated deeply with the audience. The television broadcast captured the event in all its dramatic glory. Viewers were riveted, unable to look away as Schwarzenegger delivered his blistering critique. Social media buzzed with reactions, with hashtags related to the event trending almost immediately. Clips and sound bites began circulating online within moments, amplifying the impact of Schwarzenegger's words far beyond the original broadcast. The visual imagery of the event, a larger-than-life figure standing defiantly against a newly elected president, became an instant cultural touchstone, symbolizing resistance and dissent in a time of uncertainty. One of the most striking aspects of Schwarzenegger's takedown was its focus on values and vision rather than personal attacks. While he did not shy away from criticizing Trump's behavior and rhetoric, his primary emphasis was on the broader implications of Trump's leadership. He questioned the moral direction of the country, urging Americans to consider what kind of future they wanted to create. By framing the conversation in these terms, Schwarzenegger elevated the discourse, transforming what could have been a petty feud into a meaningful and impactful critique of a national leader. Throughout the event, Schwarzenegger exuded a sense of urgency and determination. He seemed acutely aware of the stakes, recognizing that this was not just a moment to express personal grievances, but an opportunity to influence the national conversation. His words were not only directed at Trump, but at the millions of Americans watching at home. He challenged them to think critically, to demand more from their leaders, and to take an active role in shaping the future of the country. This call to action resonated deeply, striking a chord with those who felt disillusioned or disheartened by the political climate. The implications of Schwarzenegger's takedown were profound. It highlighted the growing divisions within the Republican Party, exposing the ideological rifts that had been masked during the election campaign. As a prominent Republican himself, Schwarzenegger's critique carried additional weight, signaling a broader dissatisfaction within the party's ranks. It also underscored the power of celebrity influence in modern politics, as Schwarzenegger leveraged his platform and public image to challenge the most powerful man in the country. This event served as a reminder that the lines between entertainment and politics had become increasingly blurred, with figures like Schwarzenegger playing a pivotal role in shaping public discourse. Beyond the immediate political implications, Schwarzenegger's takedown raised important questions about the nature of leadership and accountability. His critique of Trump was rooted in a vision of governance that prioritized inclusivity, empathy, and responsibility. By contrast, he painted Trump as a figure whose leadership style was characterized by division, hostility, and self-interest. This stark contrast forced viewers to confront their own beliefs about what it means to be a leader and to consider the qualities they value in those who hold power. The aftermath of the event was not yet clear, but it was evident that Schwarzenegger's words would leave a lasting impression. His takedown of Trump was a moment of high drama, but it was also a moment of clarity and purpose. It demonstrated the power of bold, unapologetic critique and reminded Americans of the importance of holding their leaders accountable. As the broadcast came to a close, it was clear that Schwarzenegger had achieved something extraordinary. He had turned a moment of confrontation into a rallying cry for change, leaving an indelible mark on the political landscape. As the broadcast concluded, the gravity of Arnold Schwarzenegger's message lingered in the minds of viewers. What made this moment particularly impactful was its timing. Coming so soon after the election, Schwarzenegger's takedown of Donald Trump struck at a time when public discourse was raw, charged with both anticipation and trepidation about the nation's future. Schwarzenegger's intervention did not merely add fuel to the fire, it shifted the focus, encouraging a broader reflection on the cultural and political crossroads at which America stood. This wasn't just about Trump, it was about the kind of country Americans wanted to be. Schwarzenegger's eloquence and command of the stage were undeniable, but it was his ability to articulate a vision of hope that set this moment apart. In calling for unity and accountability, he painted an aspirational picture of America that stood in stark contrast to the discord and polarization that had characterized the election season. His perspective, grounded in his immigrant roots and diverse career, added a layer of authenticity and universality to his argument. It was not just a critique, but a clarion call to remember the values that had long defined the American ideal: opportunity, resilience, and progress. The broader cultural impact of this moment cannot be overstated. Schwarzenegger's takedown became a rallying cry for those dissatisfied with the status quo, empowering a wave of voices who shared his concerns about leadership and direction. His words energized not just politicians and activists, but also everyday citizens who felt a renewed sense of responsibility to engage with their communities and the political process. This level of engagement extended across generational lines, sparking conversations among young and old about the importance of civic responsibility and the power of individual action. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Arnold Schwarzenegger's remarks about President-elect Donald Trump? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.